Everybody, it's the Keymaster 84 coming at you with some more news in esports. Unfortunately, Big Bro will not be able to be here again this week. I'm still feeling a little under the weather, but we're definitely hoping and planning on having him here next week. So we're just going to dive down into it. It's a big week, guys, so here we go. There is a new Ghostbusters game that will be coming out to coincide with the new movie. Mighty Number 9 was delayed again out of the month into the spring of 2016. Insomniac Games revealed Songs of the Deep, which will also be releasing in the spring of 2016 on PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Lego Star Wars was leaked and then announced will be coming out June 28th, and will be bridging the gap between episodes 6 and 7. And then lastly, but not least, probably my favorite game announcement ever is EA announced that Titanfall 2 will be happening sometime between April 1st of 2016 and March 31st of 2017. So sometime within the next year, it will be releasing. More EA shenanigans. EA has decided that they are not going to be present at E3 proper this year. They are going to be hosting their own event called EA Play, which will be happening from the 12th to the 14th. While E3 will be going on, the show floor will be happening between the 14th to the 16th. So basically what they're doing is they're sharing the opening day of E3 will be the last day of EA Play. It'll be going on mainly during the 2 days during the press conferences. In other big E3 news, Bethesda will actually be holding its second conference this year at E3, and that'll be at June 12th at 7 p.m. The Sunday before the press conference, the main event kicks off. So let the rumor mills begin, because a lot of people really have no idea what they're going to be showing off, because they showed off Doom, Fallout 4, and a card game last year, and along with Dishonored 2. So we'll see what really happens this year. It should be interesting to see what they come out with. Always love a good Bethesda product. Some more E3 business. E3 is actually trying to trademark the word ghost, but it is being opposed by Ubisoft, and Ubisoft is saying that you can't trademark ghost because there are many of their IPs that use the name, and it would definitely hinder some of those products, which I do agree with. It would be hurting. I mean, Ghost Recon, small game, nothing crazy, but kind of a big deal. So we'll see what happens with that here in the future, guys. But speaking of Ubisoft, we're moving into some esports news. We're going to be talking about Call of Duty, going over the rankings and seeing what's happening here. So in North America, we have Optic and FaZe are now both 6-1, tied for first. Envious is 5-2, holding on to the third place spot solo. And then we have Rise and Rush coming in at 4-3 and tied for fourth. In Europe, we have Millennium holding first place by themselves at 6-1. Splice at 5-2 along with Epsilon, and then XL and Infinite Games at 4-3 holding up the fourth place spot. And then down under we have OGG at 5-0, MF and TM are both 4-1. So that is the update on Call of Duty Esports. It will be on tonight as well. I believe that's for North America. That will be starting at that's 7 p.m. East Coast time, so 3 p.m. Pacific time. But going back to Ubisoft, guys, they have a bit of news. They have this small game they decided to do a multiplayer beta for. It's called The Division. It is now over. The multiplayer beta finished yesterday. We have learned quite a lot about the game already. One thing I'm extremely interested to see how it works out in the end is the graphics settings are usually stuff that you only see when you play a PC game. A lot of different settings that you usually don't get in traditional console games. So a lot of people are pretty excited about that. Also, if you guys didn't get a chance to get into the multiplayer beta, don't panic quite yet. According to a screen grab off Xbox Italy's Facebook page, it has been subsequently taken down, but not before the Eurogamer could get the screenshot. Was saying that between February 16th to the 21st, they will be having a open beta. Literally, you're just gonna log in, download, get to play. Hasn't not been yet confirmed by Ubisoft. We'll wait to see what happens. But if that does happen, everyone will get a chance. I know I'll be one of those people. Hopefully that is true. On to more troubling news. Bungie, considering now that a lot of people are comparing Division to Destiny, had its CEO step down. Mr. Harold Ryan stepped down, and then Pete Parsons was tapped for being the new CEO, taking over in his stead. This all happened days after the rumor of Destiny 2 being delayed into 2017. I don't know if it was direct correlation or what was going on, but unfortunately that is the news there. But off of that subject, we will be covering ourselves some more League of Legends results. We have, we'll go with EU first. So last week on Thursday, we started off with Giants versus Splice. Splice took down Giants again. Origin and Rocket. Origin took out Rocket. G2 Esports versus Fnatic. G2 won over the longtime champions. Unicorns of Love versus Elements. Unicorns of Love took down Elements. H2K versus Team Vitality. H2K won again, taking out Team Vitality. On Friday, we had Origin versus Elements. Origin took down Elements. Team Vitality versus Giants. Giants lost again. Unicorns of Love lost to G2 Esports. Splice was defeated by Fnatic, and H2K finished out the weekend with a win over Rocket. So that puts a pretty big interesting spin, guys, on the EU standings. You have G2 Esports and H2K both tied for 5-1. And then you have Team Vitality and Unicorns of Love at 4-2. Everybody else is either 3-3 or in the negative this season for the record. So Europe is very hotly contested right now, you guys. It's pretty interesting. On to the last piece of troubling news I have for video games. Take-Two, the makers of NBA 2K16, is being sued for showing players' tattoos. There are 8 different tattoos in the game that are reported for copyright issues. Usually this isn't a big deal. It's something that gets talked about, taken care of, and done. Unfortunately, what I am reading into it is that Take-Two actually knew about these copyright issues beforehand and is choosing to do nothing about it. That's a bigger deal. If that really is true, then it's a sad day for 2K16, because if anything has shown us with other games that have had this problem, the publisher usually loses out to the person who has the copyright. Yeah, that kind of makes sense, but unfortunately it is the way it is. On to more splendid news. Cloud Imperium Games, if you don't know who that name is, those are the creators of Star Citizen, have decided to, as this week, give away a free week of Star Citizen, so you can go try out your space flying adventure game. And they have 3 of the pods open. Pods, nodes, I don't know what they call them, something very specific. I forget off the top of my head what they are. But it's going to be available to you guys for free this week. So if you've been thinking about trying it, make sure you guys go out there and try it. More great news for you adult gamers, though. Cliffy B has stated that his new game, Lawbreakers, will be shooting for an R rating, bucking the trend of games in its categories such as Overwatch and Battleborn. It shouldn't be an issue for Cliffy, considering his Gears of War past making mature ratings. Stay tuned for more info on Lawbreakers as it is releasing later this year. And last but not least in esports, guys, we're going to be talking about League of Legends North America. We're going to be getting here into it. So last Saturday we had Team Impulse versus Team Dignitas. Team Impulse took down a long time Dignitas. Cloud9 versus TM Classic matchup. TSM took the victory this time. Liquid versus Energy. Energy fell to Team Liquid. Counterlogic Gaming and Echo Fox. Forward Fox, his team's not looking so hot. Counterlogic Gaming took the win. And Immortals, yet again, in their fashion, destroyed the Renegades. On Sunday, it was Liquid versus Team Impulse. Team Impulse took the loss. Energy recovered and took out TSM. Dignitas lost to Cloud9. Immortals, yet again, took out Echo Fox. Counterlogic Gaming versus Renegades. Counterlogic Gaming for the victory, for the last victory of the weekend. So guys, that puts the standings, and you're even more contentious in this one. So literally you have Immortals at number 1 at 6-0, Counterlogic Gaming and Energy Esports at 4-2. Then you have Team Impulse, Cloud9, Team Liquid, and TSM all tied for 4th place at 3-3. So much like Europe, there's only a few teams that are hovering up right above or way above the 500 mark, and then everybody else is either there at 500 or below it. So League of Legends this year is shaping up to be a interesting end of the year or end of the split situation where a lot of teams are all tied with the exact same record. Getting into esports, guys, we have 2 esports that are actually getting major rule changes. You have CSGO and Hearthstone. If you want to know more, make sure you guys go and check out the links I will be leaving down below. CSGO is getting a lot of interesting rule changes, like no more 7-second death cams and a few other things. I forget exactly what they were off the top of my head. And Hearthstone is actually getting rid of some of its old cards. They will be getting rid of. There's about, I think it's Battle of Naraxis and Goblins and Gnomes. They're going to a more standard playset, as they're calling it, which is extremely similar to what Magic the Gathering does for its tournament play. There's only, they only have so many cards available for you to use, even though they have a whole bunch of different cards. So I don't know exactly what this is entailing, y'all, but that's what's going on there. And I think other than that, you guys, that is... Oh, sorry. I lied. There's 2 more things, you guys. 2 more results we almost didn't get into because I almost forgot about them. Rico Suave won the Killer Instinct World Cup and was held at PAX South this last weekend. So go Rico. And then the biggest of all, Halo was at the X Games this weekend, and it placed as followed. Allegiance got the bronze medal, and then CLG and EG had a championship matchup for the silver and gold medals, and EG took the gold, so that leaves CLG with the silver. Congratulations to you guys on those medals. I saw them. I have to admit, I wouldn't mind having one myself. So with that being said, you guys, this is the Keymaster 84. Thank you all for tuning in. As always, greatly appreciate all the love and support you guys are always bringing us. And we'll see y'all next week. Remember, guys, make sure to hit that like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you guys are definitely in those comments if you feel like I missed a story or want to talk about something, or if you guys have an opinion on something. Would love to talk to you guys down in the chat.
But until next time, guys, thank you always for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Later.